Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to look back at the transformations of celebrities from the Royle family. 1. Denise Best, Caroline Aherne, 1963 to 2016, age 52. Caroline Aherne was an icon of British comedy, best known for the Mrs. Merton Show and the Royle family. She always kept her usual style, blonde hair, light makeup. In the 90s, she was young and fashionable, and in her later years, despite many health problems, she still exuded a distinct aura. Her career began on small comedy stages. With her talent for satire, Caroline quickly attracted attention. Her big step came when she created the Mrs. Merton Show, where she played a pink-haired old lady. Then came The Royle Family, a sitcom about a British working-class family, which became a classic. She also contributed opinions to the reality show Gogglebox. She was married to Peter Hook, Joy Division, New Order, from 1994 to 1997, but the marriage was not shared. As a child, she battled eye cancer, then bladder and lung cancer. She also spoke openly about her battle with depression and alcoholism. Despite her reputation for being funny, Caroline was a rather private person. She wrote dialogue for many shows, but rarely received credit. 1998, she attempted suicide, but overcame it, and continued to devote herself to comedy. The Royles are still being re-aired, proving their enduring appeal. After her death, the BBC made a special tribute, and colleagues such as Ricky Tomlinson and Steve Coogan called her a creative genius. 2. Dave Best, Craig Cash, 1960, age 64. When the Royle family aired, Craig Cash had a youthful appearance, short brown hair, casual style, often in a shirt or t-shirt. His character Dave Best was a true sitcom staple, but over time, his hair is grayed, and he sometimes sports a beard, looking more mature. Despite his natural aging, his charm and casual demeanor have remained unchanged. Craig started out in radio, working at BBC Radio before moving into comedy. The Royle Family, 1998 to 2012, was his big break. Not only did he play Dave Best, but he also co-created the show with Caroline Aherne. He has since continued to produce and direct, from the Royle Family specials to the sitcom The Café, 2011. In 2016, he succeeded Aherne as Gogglebox narrator. A private man, Craig lives a low-key life with his wife Stephanie Davies and 2 sons, Harry and Billy, in the north of England. He and Caroline Aherne had a deep friendship, working together on many projects, leading many to mistakenly believe they were romantically involved. After Aherne passed away in 2016, Craig called it a great loss and took over as Gogglebox presenter to continue her legacy. Before becoming famous, Craig worked as a DJ for KFM radio in the late 80s. He was a die-hard Manchester City fan, rarely missing a match. Despite being a famous comedy writer, he preferred to work quietly rather than in the limelight. Craig Cash is one of the important faces of British comedy, especially sitcoms. The Royle Family was not only a success, but also became a pop culture icon, still being rerun many years later. Following the departure of Caroline Aherne, Craig's voice on Gogglebox continues to keep the show alive, bringing his signature warmth and humor. 3. Barbara Royle, Sue Johnston, 1943, age 81. In the 80s and 90s, Sue Johnston was associated with short, curly hair when playing Brookside, the image of a strong mother. In the Royle Family, 1998 to 2012, she appeared with a neater hairstyle, simple clothes, fully transforming into a typical working-class housewife. Now, at the age of 81, She still exudes nobility with elegant silver hair, confident and graceful demeanor. Before pursuing acting, Sue worked as a secretary for a tobacco company, but her passion led her to the Webber Douglas Academy, where she built a solid foundation. In 1982, she made a splash with the role of Sheila Grant in Brookside, a strong, emotional character. In the Royle family, Sue Johnston continued to make her mark with the image of a humorous, patient mother, a role that helped her become one of the best comedic actresses in Britain. Not only stopping at sitcoms, Sue Johnston also proved her ability with the role of a criminal psychologist in Waking the Dead, 2000 to 2011, and continued to appear in many TV series later, such as Hold the Sunset, 2018 to 2019. She was married to Neil Johnston, but divorced, and kept the last name Johnston as her stage name. Sue has a son, Joel Johnston, and the mother and son are very close. In the Royle family, she had a close relationship with her co-stars, especially Ricky Tomlinson, Jim Royle, and Caroline Aherne, Denise Royle. When Aherne passed away in 2016, Sue Johnston said it was one of her biggest losses. A loyal fan of Liverpool FC since childhood, she often mentioned her favorite team in interviews. She initially turned down the role of Barbara Royle because she was unsure of the script, but after rereading it, she realized it was a great character. She is a passionate social activist, speaking out about the NHS and supporting charities that help women and children. Sue Johnston is a British television icon with a career spanning over 40 years. She has two iconic roles, Sheila Grant in Brookside and Barbara Royle in The Royle Family, a show that is still rerun and loved today. In 2009, she was awarded an OBE, Officer of the Order of the British Empire, for services to the arts. 4. Jim Royle, Ricky Tomlinson, 1939, age 85. As a young man, Ricky Tomlinson had dark brown hair, a distinctive mustache, and the rugged look of a builder. His style was simple and working class. Now at 85, he has a longer beard, gray hair, and a slovenly yet approachable appearance. He is a bit heavier, but Ricky still retains a humorous, mischievous air, just like the Jim Royle audiences loved. Before becoming an actor, Ricky was a builder and union activist. Acting came to him late in life, in his middle age. His first big role was Bobby Grant in Brookside, 1982, but his real breakthrough came when he played Jim Royle in The Royle Family, 1998 to 2012. With his charming, ironic, yet genuine performance, Jim Royle became an iconic character on British television. As well as sitcoms, Ricky has also appeared on the big screen in Mike Bassett, England Manager, 2001, and 24-Hour Party People, 2002. He has also written books, made music, and appeared in comedy shows. He has been married twice and is currently married to his wife, Rita Tomlinson. He has 3 children, but he keeps their personal life private. In the Royle family, Ricky had a strong friendship with Sue Johnston, who played his wife. After Caroline Aherne, a screenwriter and co-star, passed away in 2016, he called her a creative genius. In addition to acting, Ricky was an avid Liverpool FC fan, played the banjo, and performed with a folk band. He was sentenced to 2 years in prison for taking part in a construction workers' strike in 1973, an event for which he has fought to be cleared. In 2010, Ricky declined an OBE, still upset about his past conviction. He released a folk album expressing his passion for music. Despite starting late, Ricky Tomlinson has become one of Britain's most beloved comedians. He not only made his mark with the Royle family, but has also inspired many young comedians. Although he is no longer on screen, his influence remains strong. 5. Antony Royle, Ralph Little, 1980. Age 45. When he played Antony Royle in the Royle family, Ralph Little was a young man with short hair and a simple style, typical of British youth at that time. In the 2000s, he grew his hair longer and experimented with different fashion styles, reflecting his maturity in both his life and career. Currently, when playing Detective D.I. Neville Parker in Death in Paradise, Ralph has a mature appearance, neat short hair, and elegant demeanor. Starting with small roles on television, Ralph Little rose to fame when he played Antony Royle in the Royle family. Thanks to his natural and genuine humor, his character became an iconic part of British sitcoms. He then continued his success with the role of Johnny Keogh in 2 Pints of Lager and a Packet of Crisps, helping to solidify his position in the television comedy industry. In addition to sitcoms, Ralph has tried his hand at many other genres, from movies like 24-Hour Party People, 2002, to TV series like Massive, 2008, and Married Single Other, 2010. In 2020, he took on the lead role in Death in Paradise, marking a new turning point when switching to the detective genre combined with humor. This is one of his biggest roles, helping him reach a global audience. Born into a family with a tradition in the medical profession, Ralph intended to become a doctor before turning to acting. He is currently engaged to Lindsay Ferrantino, an American screenwriter. Despite being a public figure, he still keeps his private life quite private. Ralph is a lover of traveling, animals, and is especially passionate about football. He is a loyal fan of Manchester United. Almost became a doctor. Ralph was admitted to the University of Manchester to study medicine, but dropped out to pursue acting. In addition to acting, he is also a semi-professional footballer, having played for several small teams. He has voiced All or Nothing, Manchester City, a football documentary series on Amazon Prime. He has also tried his hand at writing and producing films, although few people know about this aspect of his work. He maintains a close friendship with the cast of the Royle family, especially Ricky Tomlinson and Sue Johnston. From the Royle family to 2 Pints of Lager and a Packet of Crisps, Ralph Little has helped shape the style of everyday comedy, simple but profound. With Death in Paradise, he affirmed his long-lasting appeal, bringing his name beyond the borders of the UK. 6. Cheryl Carroll, Jessica Hynes, 1972. Age 52. In Spaced, 1999, Jessica Hynes impressed with her short, curly hair and dynamic style, true to a young creative. In the 2000s, she experimented with longer hairstyles and feminine outfits, but still kept a simple, approachable look. Entering the W1A period, 2014 to 2017, Jessica chose a more professional style, with neat short hair, combining classic and modern. Currently, she is loyal to comfort but sophistication. Simple outfits, neatly tied hair, sometimes light makeup or bare face. She started with small roles on television, but rose to fame when she co-created and starred in Spaced, 1999, a film that helped her become one of the most outstanding comedy talents in the UK. In the 2000s, she appeared in The Royle Family, Son of Rambo, and even made a cameo in Doctor Who, 2007. In the 2010s, Jessica Hynes continued her success with W1A, a satire of the British television industry, which earned her a BAFTA nomination. In recent years, Jessica has expanded her career as a director, screenwriter, and starred in There She Goes, a touching TV series about a family with a child with a developmental disorder. From comedian to filmmaker, she has always proven her creativity and versatility. Unlike many stars, Jessica loves a simple life, staying away from the spotlight when possible. She is married to Adam Hynes and has 3 children, but always keeps her private life private. In addition, she actively supports social issues such as women's rights, gender equality, and environmental protection. Her real name is not Jessica. She was born Tallulah Jessica Elena Hynes, but previously went by the stage name Jessica Stevenson. A die-hard sci-fi fan, she had a memorable role in Doctor Who, 2007. Her background in theater has given her a depth of acting. Saying no to Hollywood, she chose to devote herself to British entertainment rather than chasing commercial blockbusters. As co-creator and star of Spaced, Jessica helped shape the modern sitcom with her unique style, blending comedy with everyday comedy and pop culture. She went on to make her mark with The Royle Family, W1A, and 2012, helping to define the style of British sitcoms for decades. 7th Norma Speakman, Liz Smith, 1921 to 2016, age 95. Liz Smith started her career in middle age, but it was her silver hair, kind eyes, and warm smile that made her trademark. In the 1970s and 1980s, she often appeared with short, neatly tied hair, the style of the ladies of that era. In her 70s and 80s, she truly transformed into the old lady that the whole of England loved, with a kind and expressive appearance. Liz Smith entered the entertainment industry when she was over 40 years old, an unexpected start. She caught attention with Bleak Moments, 1971, and quickly became a familiar face on British television. The highlight of her career came with The Royle Family, 1998 to 2006, where she played Nana, a classic character that won her a BAFTA. In addition, her role as Letitia Cropley in The Vicar of Dibley also made the audience unforgettable. In addition to sitcoms, she also appeared in many famous films such as Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, 2005. In 2009, after a stroke, she officially retired from the entertainment industry, leaving behind a huge legacy. Born in Scunthorpe in 1921, Liz Smith had a difficult childhood when she lost her mother at a young age. She married, had 2 children, but later divorced and raised her children alone, working many jobs from sales, secretary to tailor to make a living. Overcoming many challenges, she always kept an optimistic spirit. Although she became famous late, she never saw it as an obstacle, but on the contrary, turned it into motivation to shine. Started acting at the age of 49, but still became the most beloved veteran actress in Britain. Used to be a mechanic in the Royal Navy during World War II, a rarity for women at that time. Rejected countless times before succeeding, but never gave up. An avid animal lover, she adopted many stray dogs. Honored by the British royal family, receiving an MBE in 2009. Liz Smith proved that it is never too late to pursue your passion. Although she passed away in 2016, her performances live on, inspiring generations to come. The BBC even made a special program to honor her, an irreplaceable legend. 8. Joe Carroll, Peter Martin, 1941 to 2023. Age 81. From a middle-aged man with thick hair, 1970s to 1980s, to a gentle image with white hair, 1990s to 2000s, Peter Martin always had a calm, approachable demeanor. In his later years, he became thinner, but still kept his familiar, warm smile. He used to work in the construction industry. Peter Martin got into acting through an advertisement. He made his mark with Emmerdale, 1986 to 2014, then rose to fame thanks to the role of Joe Carroll in The Royle Family, 1998. Although he did not play the main role, he was always a familiar face on British screens. Peter Martin. A modest person, rarely appearing in the media, Peter Martin lived a simple life, devoted to his family. He married and had children, but always kept his private life private. In his later years, he enjoyed his old age with his family and passed away in 2023 at the age of 81. Before he started acting, he was a construction worker. Appeared in the Hollywood film Brassed Off, 1996. One of the few actors who continued acting into his 70s. Although he was not a big star, Peter Martin was a familiar figure on British television. He portrayed the working class realistically with natural charm. His films are still shown on reruns, helping the next generation continue to love a dedicated, simple, but memorable actor. 9. Mary Carroll, Doreen Keogh, 1924 to 2017, age 93. In her youth, Doreen Keogh was elegant with her dark brown hair and classic 50s-60s style. In the 80s-90s, she appeared on television with her short gray hair and simple but sophisticated style. In her later years, she exuded the elegance, white hair, and calm demeanor of a veteran actress. Doreen Keogh started out on the Abbey Theatre stage before moving into television. In 1960, she made her mark as Concepta Riley in Coronation Street, becoming one of the first actresses in the series. She then continued her success with The Royle Family, where her role as Mary Carroll helped endear her to a new generation of viewers. Although she withdrew in the 2000s, she remained a respected figure in the entertainment industry. She married director Jack Jenner, and the marriage was long-lasting but childless. She lived a private life, away from the hustle and bustle of showbiz, and spent her final years in Ireland, enjoying a peaceful life. She passed away on 31st December 2017, aged 93. In her early years as an actress, she was one of the first actresses on Coronation Street in 1960. Before pursuing acting, she worked as a secretary. Although she mainly played supporting roles, she always left a deep impression on the audience. Doreen Keogh was not only a familiar television actress, but also a pioneer for women in the acting industry. With her natural acting style, she proved that one could become a legend without having to play the main role. 10. Twiggy, Geoffrey Hughes, 1944 to 2021, age 68. From a neat, wavy-haired guy in Coronation Street, Geoffrey Hughes gradually became Onslow, keeping up appearances, and Twiggy, the Royle Family, with a sloppy appearance, a thick but charming beard. In his later years, he became more mature. His hair was gray, but he still kept a warm smile. Geoffrey Hughes started his career on stage in the late 60s. He shined with Coronation Street, 1974, then classic comedy roles. Onslow, keeping up appearances. The lazy but charming husband helped him become famous worldwide. Twiggy, the Royle Family. The humorous best friend of the Royle Family. In the 2000s, he gradually withdrew due to health problems, and in 2009, he was diagnosed with cancer. Geoffrey Hughes married Sue Hughes and lived happily with her on the Isle of Wight. where he enjoyed a peaceful life, close to nature. He loved the outdoors, living a simple life on a farm, away from the hustle and bustle of the entertainment industry. When his illness became serious, his wife was always by his side to take care of him until the end. He passed away on July 27, 2012, at the age of 68. Geoffrey Hughes was not only famous for his humorous roles, but also had many interesting things in life. Used to be a postman before pursuing acting. Close friend of Paul McCartney, both grew up in Liverpool. Voiced the character Paul the Foreman in Thomas and Friends. Almost turned down the role of Onslow because of concerns about the character's image. Appointed Lieutenant Governor of the Isle of Wight in 2009, a great honor for his contributions to the community. Hughes didn't need a starring role to become a legend. He defined British television comedy, especially with his memorable working-class characters. After his death, audiences loved keeping up appearances and the Royle family, keeping him alive in the public eye.